MTV could make a rock song explode overnight, but it could also bury a video, misread an artist, or turn a band into a punchline. Some clips were banned, others were too strange, too dark, or too easy to misunderstand. These are 10 80s rock songs MTV couldn't handle. Number 10, Mexican Radio by Wall of Voodoo.
Does he say, I'm on a Mexican radio?
If you remember one image from early MTV, it might be Stan Ridgway's face rising slowly out of a bowl of beans. The song came from a drive Ridgway and guitarist Mark Moreland used to make to rehearsal in Stan's old '67 Mustang. They were spinning around the Los Angeles dial, tired of corporate radio, when they picked up high-powered Mexican border stations drifting across the line. These border blasters sounded far stranger and more exciting than regular American radio.
I'm on a Mexican radio.
That became the seed of the track, complete with the line about wishing they were in Tijuana, eating barbecued iguana. MTV ran the clip heavily, and the song climbed to number 58 on the Hot 100. But the same video that made Wall of Voodoo unforgettable also locked them into a novelty box. Right after playing the Yes Festival in May 1983, the lineup fractured, leaving a legacy they never fully escaped.
I'm on a Mexican radio.
The next song has a gimmick so iconic it overshadowed the rest of the song and the band who made it. Number 9, In a Big Country by Big Country.
In a big country, dreams stay with you.
If you watched MTV in the 80s, you remember this sprawling video of the band riding three-wheelers across the Scottish countryside. The video matched perfectly with the soaring guitars, built around Stuart Adamson and Bruce Watson's ringing, harmonized lines and Adamson's MXR pitch transposer. That effect gave the guitar tone its famous bagpipe quality, and MTV understood that image almost too well. The Scottish scenery, the three-wheelers, and those bagpipe-like guitars became so memorable that they swallowed the band behind them. Frontman and guitarist Stuart Adamson helped create that sound, and the record was produced by Steve Lillywhite, who had just produced U2's early albums. Big Country were often compared to U2, but MTV reduced them to something much simpler, the Scottish band with bagpipe guitars. In Britain, they were taken more seriously, landing multiple hits instead of being remembered for one strange, oversized image.
In a big country, dreams stay with you.
Next up, a band who might have been a little too cool for their own good. Number 8, Never Say Never by Romeo Void.
That's never say never.
Turn on MTV in 1982, and you might have thought you accidentally landed inside some black and white French New Wave film. But it was actually a spoof of Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless, made by a band MTV could play, but never quite package. Romeo Void was fronted by Deborah Isle, a cowlit singer with a sharp, half-spoken delivery and a presence that did not fit the usual MTV mold. The song was catchy, strange, and blunt, with the unforgettable line, "I might like you better if we slept together." Rick Ocasek of the Cars and Ian Taylor helped shape the recording, and the song climbed to number 27 on Billboard's mainstream rock chart. But Romeo Void were too artsy, too deadpan, and too hard to categorize. MTV could show the video, but it never really knew what to do with them. The next band looked like they should have been built for MTV, but that was also the problem. Number 7, She's a Beauty by The Tubes.
She's a beauty.
In the summer of '83, this thing was all over MTV. The video was a carnival nightmare, with a young boy strapped onto a midway ride while Fee Waybill played the barker. It was directed by choreographer Kenny Ortega, and it matched The Tubes perfectly. Theatrical, strange, funny, and just suggestive enough to feel dangerous on early MTV. She's a Beauty became their biggest hit, reaching number 10 on the Hot 100 and number 1 on Billboard's mainstream rock chart.
Everything you dream about.
But MTV could package the clip better than it could package the band. The Tubes had spent years building a reputation on satire, costumes, characters, and huge stage productions. That made them unforgettable, but it also made them hard to turn into a clean 80s rock brand. After She's a Beauty, they never came close to that level again. MTV could sell the carnival for one summer, it just couldn't make the circus last.
She's a beauty.
The next song was dark enough that a lot of people heard the mood before they understood the meaning. Number 6, Lunatic Fringe by Red Ryder. You know this song even if you don't know the band. That eerie opening, that slow burn, and Kenny Greer's haunting lap steel guitar cutting through the track. But a lot of people still don't know what it is actually about. It was written by Tom Cochrane, who would later write Life is a Highway. Cochrane wrote it after becoming alarmed by a resurgence of anti-Semitism and political violence in the late 70s, while he was reading about Raoul Wallenberg, the Swedish diplomat who helped save thousands of Jews during the Holocaust. And if you listen closely, the lyric points straight at the darkness with the line, "Your final solution." It's a protest song about hatred, hiding inside a moody rock track. The song never made the Hot 100, but it reached number 11 on Billboard's rock chart and found a long second life through Vision Quest, Miami Vice, MTV, and classic rock radio. MTV could play Lunatic Fringe, but it could not make the meaning easy to understand. Next up, a band so wild they got banned from ever returning to Saturday Night Live. Number 5, Bastards of Young by The Replacements. The song feels like a punch to the gut, with a chorus that could have filled arenas if the band had ever made themselves easy to sell. But The Replacements did not exactly make marketing the track simple. Their label wanted a video, and Paul Westerberg hated MTV and everything it represented. So instead of giving them a performance clip, the band handed over one of the most anti-MTV videos ever made. One unbroken shot of a stereo speaker, a foot, a cigarette, then at the end, a kick into the speaker. That was all. Nothing else. And that was the point. But MTV was not the only bridge they burned. On January 18, 1986, they played Saturday Night Live, visibly drunk, out of tune, and barely hiding it. They performed Bastards of Young first, then came back for Kiss Me on the Bus, wearing each other's clothes, forgetting lyrics, and daring the show to stop them. Westerberg let an obscenity slip on live television. Lorne Michaels was furious, and The Replacements were banned from ever returning to Saturday Night Live. Only 4 songs left. The songs get bigger and the videos get stranger. Our next song swapped out a star for a robot in a video some wish they could unsee. Number 4, No Money Down by Lou Reed.
Paying a price when there's no price to pay. It's a lover's trust, no money down.
No Money Down is one of the most radio-friendly things Lou Reed recorded in the 80s. So it came as quite a surprise that the video looked like a nightmare. It was directed by Godley and Cream, the former 10cc members who became 2 of the most inventive directors of the MTV age. They were behind videos for The Police, Duran Duran, and the famous face-blending clip for their own song, Cry. For Lou Reed, they built an animatronic version of him, and what happens to it shocked viewers. A pair of gloved hands tear off the dummy's wig, sunglasses, and rubber skin until the face is ripped down to the skull and wiring underneath.
Paying a price when there ain't no price to pay. Love is trust, no money down.
When it premiered in 1986, MTV reportedly got flooded with complaints that it was frightening young viewers. So the channel had no easy place to put it. The song was catchy. The video was body horror. Years later, it got a second life on Beavis and Butthead, bringing its strangeness to a new generation of MTV watchers.
Some tattoo roses across their chest with a heart that says Rollo.
The video for the next song actually got banned before going on to win Video of the Year. Number 3, This Note's For You by Neil Young.
This note's for you.
Neil Young wrote This Note's For You to mock rock stars cashing in on sponsorship deals. While Eric Clapton was selling Michelob and Michael Jackson was selling Pepsi, Young let everyone know what he thought about it. The video, directed by Julian Temple, went right at the ad culture of the 80s. Young stood in for Clapton in a Michelob spoof, then took shots at soda commercials, beer sponsorships, and celebrity product ads. MTV refused to air it, citing concerns over real brands, trademarks, and product references, which was an odd excuse coming from a network built on advertising.
This note's for you.
So Young's camp fired back with an open letter calling MTV spineless twerps for protecting its sponsors. And then the whole thing flipped. After the controversy grew, MTV reversed course and started playing the video. And to top it all off, at the 1989 Video Music Awards, they handed This Note's For You the prize for Video of the Year.
This note's for you.
The next song was on its way to becoming a massive hit until MTV banned the video. Number 2, When the Lady Smiles by Golden Earring. It was 1984, and the Dutch band behind Radar Love and Twilight Zone looked ready for another American run. The single debuted at number 9 on Billboard's rock chart. Then MTV banned the video from the channel. Directed by Dick Maas, the clip looked like something out of A Clockwork Orange. It included Barry Hayes' character attempting to assault a nun on a subway car, then being put on trial and dragged into a hospital nightmare. The week after the ban, the song slipped to number 11 before falling off the rock chart completely. Stopped cold on its way to becoming a hit. And this was not the first time MTV had censored one of their videos. The cinematic Twilight Zone clip, also directed by Maas, had already been altered over brief nudity involving a female assassin and a disturbing torture sequence. Golden Earring kept recording and touring for decades, until George Koeman's ALS diagnosis led the band to stop performing in 2021. He died from complications of the disease in 2025. And now for the number 1 spot. A rock star who was poised to become one of the biggest acts of the 80s, only to watch one video rewrite his image overnight. Number 1. Rock Me Tonight by Billy Squier. In 1984, Billy Squier was one of the biggest hard rock acts in America, and Rock Me Tonight should have pushed him even higher. But then the video happened. Remember Kenny Ortega from number 7? Squier hired him too, and Ortega gave him 3 minutes of Billy waking up on pastel satin sheets, dancing around the room, pulling on a pink tank top, and grabbing a pink guitar before joining his band. To his hard rock audience, this was more than just a bad video, it was an image crisis. The song became Squier's highest charting single, reaching number 15 on the Hot 100 and number 1 on Billboard's mainstream rock chart. But the video is still routinely named as one of the worst ever made, and it became the moment fans blamed for stopping his rise. But it would not be the last time Squier starred on MTV. Not technically, anyway. 4 years earlier, he recorded The Big Beat, a track that never charted, but whose drum break became one of the most sampled sounds in hip-hop, turning up in Run DMC, UTFO, and Jay-Z records, that later brought Billy Squier's beat back to MTV in a completely different form. That's our list. What videos do you think were too much for MTV? Let us know in the comments. And if you made it this far, you'll probably crush the Backstage Classics Trivia Book. It's linked below.